All right, humans. Last but not least, algebraic expressions. Let's see what that says. An algebraic expression. Oh, we already did that at the beginning, didn't we? Okay, so it's just giving you the same vocabulary. I do want to point out something in our toolkit at the very bottom, and I will put this on the resource page. Look at that. Words to symbols. So this is a super good resource, okay? And it talks about parentheses, which is also going to be a super good resource. So I'm going to download it. And then I'll put it on the resource page. I guess at the end of this. At the end of this. Okay. So I'm not gonna do this video, but this video, my assumption is that it goes through all of those words that we were just talking about. Look at it, even gives you a thing, the toolbox, need a quick reference. So if you were reading through this would be a really important key. When you see this, now you know where to go to find the paper that is in relationship to the toolbox, right? So writing expressions, what's the difference? Does 5x plus 3 mean the same thing as 5x, 5 parentheses x plus 3? Let's see what happens. So it doesn't, right? If we're substituting in 2 for x and we have 5 parentheses, 2 plus 3 parentheses, that's different than 5 times 2 plus 3. And the reason is for the distribution, right? The distribution of the 5 means that 5 is multiplying by both of those things. So they are not equivalent. And the way that we got this is 5 times the sum, which is going to be your key word right here, of x plus x and 3. So that means x plus 3, but the sum is what lets you know that there's parentheses and it's not just like a straight, right? A straight 5 times x plus 3. If it were 5 times x plus 3, it would say 5 times x and 3. Or 5 times x in addition to 3. 5 times x plus 3. 5 times x. I got nothing. So that's a really important distinction. That's actually something that trips people up on the quiz a lot, is the parentheses piece. So how can you use this? I am super curious to see if I write anything down. How can you use this? Right? How would you translate twice the sum of x plus 5? Twice is 2, 5. The sum is addition in parentheses. Okay? So highlighting the keywords. So writing this down. Look at that. I am going to write it down for you. Okay, so writing it down. And then you really legit can just highlight it, right? Like, what are your pieces? Your pieces are twice the sum and x and 5. Those are your 3 pieces of this expression that you need to turn into, those are the 3 pieces of your word sentence that you need to turn into a number sentence. Because that's what you're doing, is you're taking words and you're turning it into numbers. So talk it out loud. The word twice means to multiply by 2. The sum of x and 5 means to add x and 5 And because the word sum indicates an answer to an additional problem, you must put parentheses in the additional problem, right? So you've got your 2, and then you've got your parentheses, that was a terrible arrow, and then you've got your x plus 5. And now you have your examples. Oh, let's see what the last one says. Oh, it just gives you that. So it translated at 2 parentheses, the x plus 5. Why does that happen? All the time. Does it happen to you all the time? That happens all the time. And I'm even like in there doing stuff. Like they didn't know I was clicking on things. Come on, give me a break. Example 1. So now you have your examples, right? These are not, oh, ho, 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 but there you got some self-checks down there. So now you have your examples. And this is really going to help you identify your vocabulary, right? Talk it out. Less than, subtraction. Times, multiplication. A number, a variable. And then you translate it. 8 less than. You also could do -8. But like, I'm not going to get all crazy on you. But like, it could be in a different order and still mean the same thing. Just FYI. We won't go too much into that. And then example 2. Go through all the examples. 6 times multiplication. The quantity, n, oh, because it's a number, plus 7. The quantity n plus 7 is n plus 7. So 6 times, but the quantity, right, signifies parentheses. So quantity, the sum. Oh, what did we, is it on there? Oh, those are division. The difference. So really, I feel like the word the, sum or the difference, or quantity, signifies parentheses. So in this, because they don't have, that's super weird that they don't have things. Watch Mr. White Wolf's video. He might have something about parentheses, but I would like make your own little chart up here to tell you what number or what words signify parentheses. And then last but not least, let's look at this last example. The quantity, parentheses, subtraction, cubed. Ooh, we have an exponent word. So the word cubed into, okay, so the quantity n minus x, so that piece, right, is going to be in parentheses, cubed to the 3rd power. So now you've got your self-checks. Are you ready? 4 times the difference. I really wish that they had more than 3 slots in my iPad color. So let's break it down. 4 times the difference of n and 8. Okay. Highlight. 4 times, okay, the difference. Now we've got the parentheses, right? Because we're using the words the difference of, boom. Last but not least, n and 8. Okay, so, what are we going to do first? First, we're going to put our parentheses. So the difference of is going to be a minus. So we've got n minus 8. And then 4 times, we're going to have I think there's a cat behind that box in my office, y'all. 4 times. Okay, so 4 times n minus 8. Best guess? Ready? Submit. Great job. Next. Oh.
My headphones in here.
Sorry about that. Okay. So, last but not least, we're going to do one more practice problem, and then you can do the other 8 practice problems. They're there for a reason. Practice problems are there for a reason. 1/3. Oops. I'm writing this out. 1/3 of the sum of a number and 4. That's a really long one. All right, so let's break this down. 1/3 of the sum. One-third of the sum. Okay. Sorry, that took me a minute. So that's going to be one thing, right? And then a number and 4. So this is the craziness, all right? So we're going to start with a number and 4. X plus 4. So 1/3 the sum. This is a really interesting thing because what that's telling you is actually that you've got 1/3 multiplying the x plus 4. Okay. But because fractions are amazing things, your x plus 4, we'll give you a little fraction lesson. Oh, it's so long video. X plus 4 is actually over 1. And then you got your 1/3 out here also. And they're multiplying each other. And because fractions, even fractions with variables in them, multiply straight across, your 1s are really canceling each other out. So then, since you've canceled out your 1 and since you've canceled out your 1s, what you end up with is your x plus 4 divided by 3. Okay? Let's try it. I hope I'm right, because otherwise I just did a whole bunch of stuff for no good reason. Boom! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that I was right. So, there you go. Do the next 6 practice problems. That's what they're there for. Practice. Practice is important. I'm not going to talk about the rest of this. These problems right here, right? Those are the kinds of things that are going to be on your test. If you need to go over them, then come in and talk, but do the self-checks. But this page in particular is going to be really important for you when you're taking the quiz. But I believe now that we've gone through the whole lesson and you've gotten some really good tips on how to take notes, that you can do it yourself. So I'm going to stop now. That was a really long video. Sorry. But I hope that this series of videos helped you. Come to office hours if you have any more questions.